Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. The National Workers' Union wrote to the management of St. Jude Hospital on the 12th of April, warning that they had 7 days to effect resolution to the unsuitable working conditions of staff, or else. The strongly worded letter has drawn the attention of Prime Minister Alain Chastanet. According to the National Workers' Union, Prime Minister Chastanet has informed the leadership of the union that he is prepared to meet officials and shop stewards as it pertains to outstanding industrial relations matters between St. Jude Hospital and the National Workers' Union. The Prime Minister indicated that having completed the budget presentation, he will make the necessary arrangements and confirm date, time and venue for the said meeting. Solis Myers, the portfolio representative and Deputy President General, said the Prime Minister's intervention is welcomed by the workers and should breathe new life into the industrial deadlock. On Tuesday, the 13th of April, a joint police operation was conducted in Over-the-Bridge, Dennery, which resulted in the recovery of a .380 Ruger pistol and 7 rounds of ammunition. A warrant to search for property was executed on the residence where the discovery was made. 2 individuals, Medley Prosper alias Stu Pork and a female below the age of 18 years, were arrested on the premises. They were both charged for unlawful possession of a firearm and ammunition and escorted to the 1st District Court. On Wednesday, the 14th of April, Prosper answered guilty to the charges and was fined $8,000 for possession of firearm and $5,000 for possession of ammunition. The matter relating to the female was referred to the Department of Probation Services for further intervention. A second police operation was conducted in Auger on Wednesday, the 14th of April, where a search was executed upon the premises of a 37-year-old resident. A 9mm Taurus pistol was recovered with 11 rounds of ammunition contained in its magazine. The male was arrested and remains in police custody pending charging. As St. Lucia continues to be confronted with volcanic ash from ongoing eruptions of the La Soufrière volcano in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Ministry of Health is educating the public on proper eye care. Air polluted by ash can leave the eyes feeling uncomfortable and irritated. Consultant ophthalmologist Dr. Dara Burt noted some of the frequent concerns and how to deal with them.
Frequent concerns include corneal abrasions, acute conjunctivitis or inflammation of the conjunctiva, which can lead to redness, burning of the eyes, photosensitivity, foreign body sensation. Eyes can become painful, itchy, or bloodshot. Sticky discharge and lots of tearing can also be experienced.
Contact lens users should take extra precautions and should opt to use spectacles during this time to avoid further irritation, corneal abrasion, and eye infections.
Eye irritation can be minimized by staying indoors when the pollution levels are high, or if you do have to venture out, wear goggles or wraparound sunglasses. Application of a cool compress over the eyes when inside also helps. Use of lubricating eye drops and proper ocular hygiene with clean water. Do not rub the eyes.
Extra care should be taken to prevent ash from falling directly into the eyes, which can be very dangerous and cause excessive irritation. Don't look upwards at the falling ash. If you do get ash into the eyes, do not rub. Instead, wash the eyes for at least 10 minutes with clean running water. If symptoms persist, seek advice from an eye doctor. The Rastafarian community in St. Lucia has come together to rally on behalf of their brothers and sisters in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Rastafarian community says it is unethical for people, particularly Rastafarians, to be mandated to be vaccinated in order to be evacuated from St. Vincent.
During a press conference following the first explosive eruption of the La Soufrière volcano in St. Vincent, Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves indicated that individuals wishing to be evacuated to other countries would need to be vaccinated. Some have taken umbrage to this statement, particularly the Rastafarian community, who have on many occasions made their position clear on the issue of vaccinations.
NIMO has categorically said that the government of St. Lucia, this is not the position whereby people have to be vaccinated to enter St. Lucia. As long as they get here, they have to go through the requisite quarantine time and also get a negative test, COVID-19 test. And then we are allowed to pick them up if they will be staying at our homes, etc., etc. So it's not a situation whereby we could go to the ports and pick them up right away. And it is sad to know and hear that in a calamity like this, there are further restrictions on people who are just trying to save their lives to get away from a volcano, and to impose upon them that they have to be vaccinated to either enter a shelter or to go to another country.
The assistant PRO of the Caribbean Rastafarian Organization, Emmanuel Alexander, says forced vaccination should not be accepted by anyone, but there should be exemptions for Rastafarians given that they do not subscribe to any type of vaccination.
We do not support vaccination because we as a nation has already get ourselves physically when it comes to the norms of life, in nourishing ourselves and building our immune system. So we do not want to compromise our health because of such vaccines, and so do I know our other brothers and sisters. So we are calling on the authorities at large, the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the government of St. Lucia, and the government throughout the length and breadth of the Caribbean and the globe to revisit what they're saying about vaccination for all, because we as a Rastafari nation need to be exempt from such vaccinations.
The president of ICA, Aaron Alexander, says such a requirement by any country is a violation on the rights and freedoms of not just Rastafarians but all individuals.
This is, unethical and it is immoral. And we're calling on the Ralph Gonsalves government to rethink that position. Do not put people in that position. And when people take the position of actually they rather stay and get killed by the volcano rather than take that vaccine, it really goes to show that the government and the health departments have failed tremendously to convince people the benefits of taking a vaccine, especially what in many circles are looked upon as an experimental vaccine. There's a lot of unknowns about this, so it is also said that it's voluntary. And even here in St. Lucia, we're learning that of hotels right now saying that if the staff do not take the vaccine, it equates to job abandonment.
The Rastafarian community maintains that a time of crisis should not be used to force individuals to be vaccinated. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzalez.
The track record of a 5-time elected member of parliament is being called into question following controversial comments by his challenger in the last general election, Senator Fortuna Belrose. Belrose seemed to suggest that Castries East constituents were not as entitled to as much from the UWP government because they rejected the party at the polls and voted in an SLP MP. Prime Minister Alan Chastanet argues that any neglect of the Castries East constituency should be blamed on Philip J. Pierre and no one else.
The state of Castries East is an indictment on the incumbent Philip J. Pierre. That's according to Prime Minister Alan Chastanet when he was questioned by reporters outside the House of Assembly on Wednesday. Chastanet was asked to comment on the utterances of Fortuna Belrose and her work in the constituency. Belrose drew the eye of some constituents when she stated recently that Castries East had chosen not to support the vision of a UWP government by voting in an SLP MP.
When you elect a government, you elect them on the basis of the policies and programs that they set out. The people of Castries East categorically chose to reject the United Workers' Party.
Just hold the line, caller. Oh, go ahead.
Yes, I'm saying the people of Castries East chose categorically to reject the United Workers' Party at the last election. Yeah? 11 other constituencies said to the United Workers' Party, yes, we want to build a new St. Lucia with you, we are on the road with you, and we'll be working with you. And so the government sought to invest in those communities where they bought into the philosophy and thinking, you understand, of the government. It's very important that a community buys into the vision. When the Prime Minister came in, we just did a tour of the constituency. We made no promises. No promises at all were made. Because I'm a community worker and I understand when you raise people's expectations, the challenge it can pose for you.
Chastanet stood by Minister Belrose, saying that she is doing the best that she can.
I want to say that, I'm very proud of Ms. Rose, and coming from a background of being an athlete as well. And so I know of no athlete that ever goes onto the field to lose. And so I know that she has put her heart and soul into this campaign. She came in very late in the game last elections, and unlike a lot of other people, has not disappeared. And she stayed on the ground and very focused on it. So I think that Ms. St. Rose and all those persons who know her to be a very genuine person. And therefore, any comments that she would make would always come from a good place. I think that she's dealing with what some of the realities are, is when your government is in office, but you are not elected in a constituency, technically you don't have any position. The only position you have is as the candidate for the party. And so therefore she has done certain things, but certainly, as she's rightfully said, the bulk of the responsibility remains on the elected person in that office.
By Castries East, the Prime Minister was referring to the community of Marshall.
We're not getting a sense that a lot of Vincentians want to come over. So we continue to work through that process. The first set of people that came over were really farm workers. They were included some St. Grenadians, Vincentians, Dominicans, and we're trying to get them out on a flight to Canada. But in the meanwhile, we are making arrangements for persons who do want to come over. We've started a registry process for those persons in St. Lucia who do want to be able to accommodate people, and also trying to make sure that if they do come over, not knowing how long they're going to come over, they'll be able to benefit from some of our services like health access as well as education.
The UWP chairman, Pinkley Francis, has distanced himself from Belrose's comments. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
You're watching the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us. There's much more coming up after the break.